In this video, I'm going to walk you through installing the add-in for AlphaVantage to be used in Excel. Now this add-in, or your API key that you'll get through this process, can also be used for downloading data, Python, or whatever other software if you want. If you're using something like SPSS, SAS data, it's not limited to Excel. That's just what we're going to use here for today because it's a little bit more in depth. If you're using one of those other software, you'll just have to get the script and then plug in your API keys so that when you run your script, it'll reference your API key when it does the API pull. All right, so we're at the home here of AlphaVantage, and of course the website is just alphavantage.co. And before we get going, I just want to show you some really neat things on here. I'm a big fan of this site because I think it's great they make this free for everybody to go out there and do research. Of course, if you're pulling higher amounts of data, it'd be right to pay for an upgraded membership. But when you're studying in school, this will be a fantastic source and it's free. So I really appreciate this group for putting this out here. So you can get real-time and historic stock data. And what I think is fantastic is the intraday data. You can get a lot of end-of-day data, monthly or annual, but intraday for free is just so hard to find these days. There's data for options, many other asset classes such as commodities, which you might be interested in using. If we're in fixed income, there's Fed fund rate, there's treasuries, data on inflation, CPI. So this is great. Also, technical indicators for stocks. So if you're interested in using like relative strength index, MACD is available, but I think it's premium fee now, so you can calculate that on your own. But just great source. Also, you can get market news, sentiments, fantastic. So we want to note this free API key so we can use it for getting data. Really quick, here's an overview on spreadsheets. So it just gives you some idea if you're using Excel, Google Office, and so forth. Maybe if you're rocking in a Chromebook. Here's Academy, which will give you some more information. Peruse this at your own leisure. But where we want to go is documentation. And so documentation portion here shows you the available data, and the vast majority of it's free. So notice for stocks, we can get intraday data. And if you scroll down here on the right-hand side, notice there's a scroll bar on the right-hand side and one here towards the left. So there's two areas to scroll. There's time intervals for intraday. Notice you can get minute-by-minute data every 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 60 minutes. I mean, this is just fantastic. Now, the data tend to only remain available for 100 days and then it drops off. So if you're wanting to collect a year's worth of data, you would have to collect 100 days and then wait about another 265 days. And so throughout there, collect more. All right. So you can see here, the API will return the most recent 100, and that's it. Okay. Going down, you can do bulk data pulls, but if you're using large amounts with a free license, it'll be restricted. The way to kind of get around that is to separate your data pulls or your bulk pulls. And so maybe if you try to pull 200 firms at once, it says can't do it. It's beyond the scope of your license. But what you can do is do maybe 5 at a time. If you're running this in, say, SAS, data, R, Python, you just program in a short delay, like 2 seconds. So do a request, wait another 2 seconds, do a request. And so you just run this through a loop until all of your requests are done. All right. So you can get options, historical options, which is great. News and sentiment, just think that's great. Insider transactions, some fundamental data here. So you can get firm financials, income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, earnings data, which is perfect. If firms are going to be listed or if they're going to be delisted, IPO calendar if you are interested in trading those, corporate actions, so information being disclosed on 8Ks. So this is just great for free. some Forex, crypto, if you're interested in that, commodities. Now the commodities space here is a bit limited. For crude, there's just West Texas Intermediate and Brent, and then natural gas. You don't get all the hubs. So if you're interested in hub-specific pricing, you're going to need to go to another place, like for NASDAQ or QuantDL will have that, or at least they used to. And then the other commodities are limited. So you have copper, aluminum, wheat. Of course, you're not seeing on here the plethora of traded commodities such as gold, silver, orange juice, cacao. So if you want those, you're going to have to get them from a different place, but these are free. As well, there's economic indicators we previously mentioned, Fed funds and Treasury, CPI, inflation data, GDP. So this is very, very good data. And then, of course, you can get technical indicators. So you can get a simple moving average, exponential, weighted, the common one MACD, which has been upgraded to premium, but it's still great. You can get stochastics, relative strength index, stochastic RSI too. I mean, look at all these indicators that are calculated for you. Of course, you'll want to read up on the method of calculation so you know exactly how AlphaVantage is calculating, but there you have it, free data. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to the home page here, and I want to bring your attention to get a free API key. So we're going to do that. Go down and select student, your organization. I'm going to put in here University of Central Oklahoma. So I think AlphaVantage would like to know that there's a bunch of students from Central Oklahoma that are appreciating and making use of their data. And then we're going to put in our email. And the only thing is I'm going to change this to educator so they know they have good data, get a free API key. So this is saying you already have an API key, please try to get another. All right. So now that we know I have an API key, I'm going to come back down and open up Excel. And unfortunately, my AlphaVantage is already popped up again. I've tried to disable it, but I'll show you how to access it and download it. So we're going to go to add-ins here and search for AlphaVantage. Other way you can access it is come over here, File, Get Add-ins, and wait for this to pop up. Sometimes you might not see this pop up. What you'll have to do is it'll just be a blank page. You can come into File and then go down to the bottom where it says Accounts, manage your settings, and then make sure that you turn on the optional connected experience, or just sometimes restart it after doing that. And usually the add-ins should be available. So you can click, of course, get add-ins there. They'll populate with your different options or add-ins here. Now on my Excel, this is available on the home page. For some of you, add-ins is going to be under insert somewhere in this vicinity right here, right around illustration and controls. I've seen it for some under data, but that's pretty uncommon. And then you'll also see within developer. And this part right here is more for enabling. So this is the same route as if you went to File, down to Account, down to Options, and then you would come down here to Add-ins, and you'd see what's enabled. And of course, down here you can manage your Excel and your COM add-ins. All right, so Excel add-ins, COM add-ins. All right, so we're going to go back to Home, Add-ins, and we're going to search for AlphaVantage. Now it may not be showing up just because I've already got it. So let's scroll down, but this is where you'll access it. You'll click Add, and then, oh, here we go. Because I've already have it added in. There it is right there. So you'll add it. You may need to restart. Now let's say you've added it and it's not enabling. No problem. Just come over to File, come down to Options, Add-ins, click on Excel Add-ins, and then click Go. And then all we're going to do is see where it says AlphaVantage Data Add-in. we're going to select that and click OK. Oh, actually, I'm installing the old AlphaVantage. So if you guys have the old AlphaVantage where you would download it, the add-in directly from the site, I've accidentally just enabled it. All right. The other way you can do it, go to Developer, click on Excel Add-ins, and there you have it. So I'll unselect this and we'll see it drop off. Okay. And then we'll go to COM Add-ins. And of course, this is where you can select your AlphaVantage. I'm going to enable my S&P Capital while I'm here because I want that plugin. Perfect. And so those are enabled now. Okay. Come back here to the web. I'm going to insert my API key. I guess it's already detecting it on mine. There we go. So open task plane, and then over here on the right hand side, you'll see API key. It's very small text. You're going to click on that and then paste in your API, update. And then once you've clicked update, it's done. All right, so if you keep clicking it, you're like, it's not working, don't worry, it's already been done. Okay, so once you're done, close that and you're set to go. So in the next videos, I'll show you how to start pulling data using AlphaVantage. But this is just a great overview how to install it. I hope you're excited to use this data. It's a very rich data source, and the best part, it's free. All right, once you get this done, move on to the next video.